All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live and we are so excited to be able to introduce someone who doesn't need an introduction, the number one network marketing trainer in the world. Mr. Eric Worre is here with us, so make sure that you eliminate all distractions, take notes, because what you're about to learn can absolutely transform your life and your business. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Eric Worre.
Wow, that's like a professional radio announcement or something. This guy's like Bruce Buffer. Hi, everybody. How are you? I would watch. How many of you put in the chat? How many of you were at your company event this last week? Put a one in the chat if you were. A lot of you. Wow, look at that. That's what I call a strong team. Well done, well done, well done. I was watching all the updates. I was traveling myself, but I kept getting all the updates. You guys walking across stage, people doing stuff, people being represented in different ways. And congratulations on all the new stuff. Tina sent me the update of like new products. So popular they sold out in an hour and a half. That's a great thing, by the way. Some of you are annoyed. You're like, wait a minute. Come on. Being sold out is a good problem. Tell you a quick story. My first time I did a 90-day run, a big 90-day run, the company experienced enormous growth, like that product. Imagine that was the only product you had. You didn't have all the other products. You just had the one you released and sold out in an hour and a half. That's what happened to me. I started a 90-day run. The company was completely back ordered on product. They never had product for a full 90 days of the main core product. And I built a foundation that the next year I was barely making six figures, and I did this 90-day run, and I went to $980,000 in earnings the next year. Why? Because I managed the expectation within the field. This is the best thing ever. Get in line. Make sure your order's in place. Just be ready for when the company does catch up. Don't be mad that they didn't anticipate the demand. Be happy that they put something out that's so hot. It was so hot that it was like everybody had one. In the whole team, everybody had one. Like, here, you can see it. No, you can't have it. Here, touch it. You can touch it if you want. No, you can't have it. It's mine. Right? Or they'd say, I've got 4 over here, but they're only for people who sign up. And if you sign up, then you can have one, but don't share it with anybody else. We literally were rationing single units of product for 4 months. The company went from $1 million a month to $14 million a month in 4 months. They never had anything. And then it finally caught up, but I mean, there were 2 groups of people during that period of time. There are people who are grumbling, mumbling, complaining, yelling at the company, apologizing to their field. I'm sorry, the company doesn't have their act together. Sorry, I'd understand if you want to wait until you build, because people are saying, how can you expect me to build a business when you won't even deliver the product? There were meetings, there were committees, there were conference calls. There was all kinds of yelling and groaning. Guess what our team did? Let them groan. We're going to run. We're going to craft this story, and while they lose market share, we're going to gain market share. So we become the fastest growing people in the company in like 4 months. Let them complain. All distractions are equal. Look, we love our cross-line friends, but it's still a market share game, isn't it? What percentage of market share do you want? Guess when's the best time for you to gain market share? When other people are frustrated. That's the best time. Like in the summer when other people are distracted, that's the time to get market share. During December when other people are out buying presents and convinced that nobody wants to look at an opportunity 2 weeks before Christmas or 7 days before Christmas, that's when we got market share. We treated ourselves in December like we were a retail store. And any of you ever worked in retail during the holidays? You don't get any time, sorry. Nothing. Zero. You get to have Christmas in January. I mean, it's like a dinner. That's it. That's all you get is a Christmas dinner. And because you're making all your sales during that period of time, right? We treated it like everybody else slows down, let's speed up. That's our moment. So isn't it weird to know that your moment is when things get difficult? Your moment is when, it's challenging for some people. Your moment is when there's justifiable frustration. That's your moment. Interesting, huh? Let other people grumble. Let other people complain. Let other people bitch and moan. Just decide you're going to go. So, anyway, the topic for today, appropriately enough, is the bulletproof networker, how to win no matter what. I learned how to do that, and I want to teach it to you. Do you think that would be a good skill to learn how to win no matter what? Put a 7 in the chat if you say, you know what? Yeah, I want to learn that. Yeah? I can help you, but part of it is just saying, I'm going to win no matter what. No matter what. Other people are going to do things. Other people are going to take shots. Other people are going to be whatever, try and distract, try and get me off track. I'm not going to get off track. So let's talk about building confidence, because confidence ultimately is going to help you become bulletproof. Would you agree? If you can become confident in yourself or confident in your direction, confident. So here's some things that you might not be confident in right now. Closing. Maybe you're challenged, like when it comes to closing a prospect. Yeah, I don't know what to do there. Duplication. Maybe you struggle with duplication. Follow-up. Maybe that's your problem. Just picking up the phone. Just texting somebody might cripple some people. It did for me for a long time. Right? And it's funny, these little phrases. I had a mentor said, make friends with your phone. And everybody today is friends with their phone. But I mean, he was like, put the phone back before these. Put the phone to your head, tape it to your head, and start dialing for dollars. I'm like, okay. So getting the team committed, maybe that's a challenge for you. I don't know what's your challenge. Your need for positive feedback might be your challenge. Your need to be approved by others might be your challenge. Feeling intimidated by social media or intimidated by some part of your business. Reapproaching somebody after they already said no. How do you bounce back from somebody saying no? How do you bounce back from rejection? Procrastination, limiting beliefs, self-worth. I mean, the list is long, right? Of things you can not be confident in. But I'm going to give you a little bit of the physiology of being confident. There's little that's more attractive than a confident person. You see, they talk about, it's been a long time since I was ever dating, right? I could not imagine being in the dating world. But what I hear women say about men is, if the man's confident, boy, does that go a long way. If he's insecure, boy, does that go a bad way. If he's needy, versus, you know what, being confident. It doesn't matter if he's like a supermodel or anything. He's just, he's okay in his own skin. Ladies, same thing. Being okay in your skin, putting a smile on your face, regardless of your circumstance. Learning to be okay with your own mind. Learning to be okay where you are at the moment. Living life without apology. Learning that you don't have to be something else or someone else in order to be able to succeed. Learning that you don't need to compare yourself with others unless it helps you. You know what I learned about comparison? Super interesting. They say comparison is the thief of joy. Have you ever heard that phrase? Comparison is the thief of joy. And some of you going into your convention, right? Or at your convention, you might have caught yourself in the trap of watching somebody else walk across stage and not you, and going, what is the matter with me? Why not me? or try and compare yourself with somebody who's way farther ahead of you. I used to do that, and it was frustrating because, like, here's what I learned ultimately. I learned to embrace the burn. If you feel your butt burning while you're sitting in the seat while somebody else is walking across the stage and not you, I learned to embrace it. Say, yes, all right, good. I learned to use it when it helped me and to ignore it when it hurt me. Like if it was just too much for me to compare to, I admire Jeff Bezos. As what he built with Amazon, it's unbelievable. The vision, what he is as an entrepreneur. If I was going to try and compare myself to him, I'm going to feel like garbage for the rest of my life. But there's something about me that loves the burn. There's something about me in certain circumstance where, have you ever been in a room that's so powerful that you just best be quiet? Just be quiet. Listen, be happy to be in the room. Pay attention to what superstar successful people are doing. Yeah? I come home from those opportunities, pardon my language, pissed off. But I love it. I'm like, what is going on? Why am I still playing in the kiddie games? This person's the same age as me. I need to play bigger, right? So I find in most cases, I'll use comparison to others as fuel. In some cases, if it's just too much, I'll ignore it. And then I'll just compare me against me. So if you find somebody that comparing to them works, like pay attention to that. Create a competition with that person. Figure out some way to use that fuel. And if it hurts you, if it just hurts in the heart, and you're just like, no, I can't find myself to get there, then just compare yourself to you, right? If you start at an early stage, that's fine. If you compare too high, I mean, you just like, it feels hopeless. Somebody's running a marathon. You can't run around the block. You're going to compare yourself to that marathon runner or a world-class marathon runner, and you can't run around the block. If you walk a mile, you're sore for 3 days. I mean, comparing to that ultra marathon runner that's running a 4-minute mile for 26 straight miles might not be the most useful thing in the world for you. But comparing yourself with somebody who can jog around the block instead of walk around the block, okay. If they can jog around the block, so can I. If they can walk 1 mile, so can I. If they can walk 5 miles, so can I. I'm not going to do it unless I have that motivation, but comparison, I learned to use it. And in my kind of career, I learned some things. I grew up in the church, and my uncle was a pastor. My dad was a pastor at this church, so I was a preacher's kid. And we had these little productions. And sometimes it's just strange little things that help you build confidence. They would do this Christmas production, which was like a Christmas Carol type of a production from a Christian point of view. Instead of 3 spirits visiting Ebenezer Scrooge, it was 3 angels visiting Ebenezer Scrooge, right? So I had a little part in this little show, and it turned into like a big show. They did this free thing. It was 2,000 people for each show. They did 40 shows every Christmas time. So it's like 80,000 people would see it over the course of the Christmas season. And I was a little part of the show, and I started when I was a kid being the little British kid, brings the turkey, goes and gets the turkey at the very end. And then I was, moved up into different parts, but getting in front of people in a community built my confidence. Just a little bit, just a tiny bit of swagger. Not a lot, but a tiny bit. And I would look for little tiny places where you can get some swagger in your life and in your business. Like lean on something that you did. Like name something that you've become great at. Anything at all. What are you great at? Get as specific as you can. CrossFit, singing, teaching. What are you great at? Canva, dancing, being a mom. Yep. Caregiver, gardening, crocheting, cooking, CrossFit and dancing. Napping, did somebody say? That's good. Jiu-jitsu. So here's what I want you to do. When you get in that world, when you get in the massage therapy world or the kitchen design world, are you insecure? Or do you have a little swagger? You got a little swagger, yeah? Just a little bit of, yeah, I got this. I want you to borrow that swagger and bring it into your network marketing business. Even though you're not fully there yet, borrow that swagger. Because it exists in you. You're like insecure in network marketing, but you're like, when it comes to gardening, get out of my way. I've got this figured out. Borrow that, bring it here. Make sense? It's part of your DNA. You just need to borrow it. Remember how good you are at something. If it's painting, fantastic. Nursing, unbelievable. You take a nurse who's world class and try and tell her your opinion of what should happen as far as somebody's care inside the hospital. That nurse is going to say, sit down, I got this. I want you to borrow that sit down, I got this in your network marketing business, okay? Borrow that because it exists. So I learned in like getting in front of people, like sometimes it's somebody believing in you. How many of you have somebody who really believes in you? Put a 2 in the chat. If you have somebody who really believes in you. They see in you more than maybe even you see in yourself. Borrow their belief in you. John Joyce, my father's partner, was my first mentor outside my family that believed in me more than I did. And he was a millionaire. And I never really, I was so grateful, but every time he was just like, wow, look at this kid. Look at this kid. This kid's something else. This kid's going to do big things. And I could see he would say it in front of my mom and dad, and my mom and dad were like, he's on like job 16. You know, they're like, we hope, John, please. We hope. But John always was bragging me up. Always. And I remember there's this block in Minneapolis where the church was located, and there was an empty space, and I was trying to be like little Mr. Entrepreneur, and the sun tanning business, the tanning beds was big at the time. So I convinced John, there's this little extra space. If you got some tanning beds, put it in there. I'd manage it for you. And I'd be amazing. And he bought it. He's like, okay, done. We started the little tanning business. He believed in me. We started, my dermatologist is not happy with that decision. Every 6 months, I got to go like freeze something else. Because sitting in those tanning beds was not the greatest health decision in the world. But he believed in me. And he had the last job before network marketing was a real estate business. I got a real estate license, and my dad and his partner had this little real estate company. They were buying houses and building a little real estate portfolio. And the first day I got introduced to network marketing was with John Joyce and my dad at another guy's house. We watched this video. The other guy was successful too. And on my way walking out the door, I'm about probably 20 feet in front of John and my dad and Charlie, who is our upline. And John Joyce says again to those other two, see that kid? He says to Charlie, that kid's going to do better than all of us combined. I heard him say it. And you know what that did for me? Oh my gosh. What it did for me to take action when I didn't feel like it and not quit because I didn't want to make him a liar. Some of you need to go to that person who believes in you more than anybody else and tell them, tell me one more time. Tell me one more time that I'm good. Tell me one more time that I've got this. Remind me. Diane says you need something. You need somebody like that. Patty says you need somebody like that. Jana says you need somebody like that. And guess what? They're here in this Zoom. They're here. Reach out to them when we're done with this Zoom and say, I need you to tell me. Do you think I've got it? Let them share with you. I borrowed John's belief so much. I mean, I wanted to quit so many times. I couldn't do it. All my programming would say quit, 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 quit. Because guess what? I had like a 90-day timer on my life. All I'd ever done was something for 90 days. And after 90 days, if it wasn't working, I would sabotage everything and run away. After 90 days of my network marketing business, let me tell you what happened to me. This was back in the front-end loading days when you'd buy like $5,000 worth of product, put it in your garage, and then try and sell it and get other people to buy $5,000 worth of product. Water filters is where I started. It cost me $5,000 to join the company, and you had to do $5,000 new business every month to qualify to get an override. Every month, personal. Oh, tough. You're saying it's hard for you to qualify at $100 or whatever? $5,000 for me. Tough, hard. But because of that big order, you could get like $1,200 when somebody joins out of that $5,000. So my first month, I made $7,400. How much of that you think I spent? Every penny. My second month, $12,211. I still have a copy of the check. Spent it all. Third month, I quit real estate, went full time, $1,098.60. After I'd quit all my work, I quit everything. You think I wanted to quit? Of course. The greatest thing that ever happened to me, one is I had people who believed in me, and two, I had no place to go. Where am I going to go? 23. I was so mad at network marketing, I blamed network marketing for my $1,000 check. I gave myself credit for the $12,000 check. I blamed network marketing for the $1,000 check. I wanted to quit so bad. I was so mad, but there's nobody to save me. The only place I can go make money is right back into the program that I disliked and I was mad at and blaming like crazy. But I realized through the adversity that I was tough. That was tough. I'll give you another example of the seeds of confidence, right? They say God doesn't give you a challenge without the ability to overcome it, right? You ever heard that? So early 2001, I had financial Armageddon happen to me. 24 years ago. Financial Armageddon. It was the worst season of my life. I had like $9 million in the bank. This is right before the worst season. $9 million in a stock portfolio. I'm making $1 million a year in 2021. 6 months later, stock portfolio is gone. Income gone. On top of that, I get audited, and they give me a $700,000 tax bill for previous years based upon bad tax advice. So I have no income. I have a half-built dream home. I've got my portfolio's gone, and they say it's better to have a head loss than never had it all. Oh, yeah, try it. Try it. I mean, come on. I went from being set to being below broke. I couldn't breathe. And it's not important how it all happened. I mean, I was at the center of bad decisions and bad relationships and bad investments. And, I wasn't smart. There's some bad things that happened, and for a while I blamed everybody else for it. There's a few people in particular. There's betrayal involved. There's all kinds of stuff. But I couldn't breathe. Have you ever had a season so hard you couldn't breathe? It was difficult to take a deep breath. I was breathing shallow for like all day. I couldn't sleep, staring at the ceiling, wondering what the heck am I going to do? So you know what I found out? One, I'm a badass. That would have crushed most people. Everybody told me I should have filed bankruptcy. I didn't. And everybody who wrote off their debt, or my debt to them, they just wrote it off because it was uncollectible. I paid them all back anyway. Every penny. Every person. But let me tell you how I did it. I realized that if I'm sitting in a bad situation, if I just stare at the bad situation for every hour of every day, I'm never going to get out. It's going to continue to spiral. And it was so hard because when you're worried and you're stressed and your people are calling and they're threatening and there's drama in your life, how do you not let that consume you? So the smartest thing I ever did, I don't know why it happened or how it happened, but if you're ever going through a bad time, let me give you some advice. I forced every ounce of my difficult time into 4 hours a week. Basically 9 a.m. on a Monday to about 1 p.m., I dealt with everything. Because up until that point, if you ever had such a bad season you don't even want to look at the mail, I still don't open the mail today because I still have post-traumatic stress from the mail. The mail starts turning different colors, turns orange, turns red, gets certified things attached to it. Start being worried about somebody knocking on the door. So I put it all in 4 hours. So I said, you know what? I'm never going to get out unless I focus on my highest and best use. I got to deal with this thing right now. Okay? So on Monday morning, I opened up every ounce of mail. I looked at it. I called every single creditor. I called the IRS. I called Minnesota State Tax. I called everybody. And I said, here's my situation. I don't have a lot of options, but I'm calling you. I can send you $100. I can send you $300. I can send you $500. Yeah, but you owe this and this and this. I understand. But how many people are calling you versus you calling them? How many of your creditors called you this week? I'm calling you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You're going to be sorry. I'm going to embarrass you in front of your neighbors. Go ahead. I'm already embarrassed. Doesn't matter. I'm calling you. Here's what I can do. I will call you next Monday. No, you won't. Blah, 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 blah. I will. I promise. Hang up. Did it again. Next week, called them again. They screamed and hollered a little bit less. I told them what I could do. I did it the week after. I did it the week after. After about 5 weeks, 6 weeks, they said, you know what? You don't need to call. Just give us an update every once in a while. Let us know what's going on. We appreciate the fact you're calling. And they mentally put me in a different category. They stopped yelling and screaming, and they gave me space to go fix it. I said, look, I am the only way you're going to get paid. I don't have the assets, but I can go get them. But you got to get off my neck so I can do it. Do you want me to pay you? I'll pay you. So it's the best thing I did, because at 1 p.m. on Monday, it was gone. And I put my head down on income producing activity. And that's all I did the rest of the week. I just got in the grind. Yeah? Best thing that ever happened to me. Was the grind tough? Did I feel sorry for myself some days? Was it annoying? Yeah. But I realized, guess what? You can't kill me. You can't beat me. You know, you ever heard that thing? They tried to bury me. They didn't realize I was a seed. Go ahead. Watch me. So I built back. I started from zero. Built back. And look, 24 years later. Throw an obstacle at me today. Go ahead. Number one, if it's a big enough obstacle, I have a solution. Number two, if it's less than what I already went through, it's no problem. So I'm telling you, you're tougher than you think. You're more resourceful than you think. But you got to get out of obsessing over things that you can't control. Control what you can, keep it in a small bubble, and focus on income producing activity. Focus on things you can control. Guess what I can control? How many prospects I talked to. Guess what I could control? How many presentations I did. Guess what I could control? How much I poured myself into my team. I remember during that period of time, I did this like a kickoff event in Chicago, and I was terrified because I was selling my house out of foreclosure. All my credit cards are gone. I was using my mom and dad's American Express card to book my travel to that event where I was the trainer. 300 people show up on my team, right? And I'm like, this feels so inauthentic, it's ridiculous. So I remember reading a book at the time, a book called Atlas Shrugged. Everybody ever heard of that book? That book helped me so much. I don't have it down here, but I got my first edition upstairs of that book. And there's a quote in that book that says, the man who lies to the world is the world's slave from that moment forward. I'm not going to be a slave. I'm not going to be afraid of being exposed as a person who is in a difficult time. You know what I did? I got on the stage. First thing I said, guess what? Here's my mom's American Express card. Guess what? I lost it all. It wasn't network marketing that forced me to lose it all. Network marketing helped me get it. But I'm starting over from scratch. And those of you who are in this room right now, if you are smart enough to get close to me, just understand my mission in life is to help you succeed. Because that's what's going to take me where I need to go. My ticket to freedom is you. Get smart enough to be around me at this moment. Do not bet against me. Or go ahead, bet against me. It'll be fun. I need a little bit of bet against me. Watch me win. I'm going to go. So that was extreme, right? Would you agree that that's extreme situation? Guess what some of you don't have? The gift of an extreme situation. You're doing okay. It's fine. You're paying the bills. You know, you got a nice life. House is okay. Car's okay. Life's okay. Hey, you can go on a vacation for a week once a year or something. Kids' education's okay. And you get trapped in this little comfort bubble and live at 2% of your potential. I hate that for you. When you're a giant and you don't act like it. Yeah, I've seen it happen so many times. You're probably getting a different message than maybe what you tuned in for, but this turned on its own level, right? Person, think about what did you want to be when you grew up? Put in the chat. What was your dream? What was your dream? What did you want to be? Singer? Cop? Mom? Teacher? Lawyer? Sports reporter? Fun. Olympic figure skater. Fantastic. A gymnast. Remember these dreams? I wanted to be a professional athlete with barely a speck of athletic ability. I wanted to be an actor or Hollywood or, Broadway or something. I wanted to, these glamorous things. I wanted to be an astronaut. Stuff. And here's what happens. We want to have this big life and we get through school and then we have to get a job because we got to pay the bills. And then the job turns into, well, I need to put stuff in I need to get an apartment. I need to get a place to stay. And then I got to put stuff in the place to stay. Then I need transportation in order to be able to get me around in this job just in the meantime because my dream's still there. And I got to do all this stuff just in the meantime. And by about age 30, you go, you know what? All of that dreaming was silly. There's nobility in putting a roof over my family's head. There's nobility in paying the bills. There's nobility in providing security for my loved ones. And there is. But that doesn't mean you have to walk away from greatness. And it can take different forms. You know what's crazy? I wanted to be in Broadway. That's what I wanted to do. When I was finally, and I was pretty good, okay? Singing, dancing, the whole thing. I was pretty good. I wasn't great, but I was pretty good. And I really had the dream. You know, some people thought I had some pretty good chops. Yeah? And I remember I went to a Broadway production of the Buddy Holly story. And one lady got up and did this scene. She smashed this scene 10 times better than I could ever do. Unbelievable. Tore the roof off the place. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's got to have a recording contract. She's got to be a, you know, huge star. And I open it up. I get to the program. Guess what she was? She was a lounge singer on a cruise ship for the past 5 years. And I went, oh. Maybe Broadway's not my thing. If that's all she can do, no shot. No shot. So, that dream passed, but guess what? I'm still a performer. I'm performing right now. I get up on bigger stages. I've been on a stage with 45,000 people watching me perform for 3 days and using it to change their life. I get to not only entertain, but I get to contribute. I'm still a performer. The worst thing that ever could have happened to me is somebody picked me out of the church and said, come to Broadway, and I'd still be playing 8 shows a week for $100,000 a year, doing Wicked over and over and over again. Or The Lion King over and over and over again. Getting a major part. I don't have a major part. But I built my own stage. Interesting. It doesn't have to take exact form. But you can find a way to make your dream work. The dreams you had as a kid, the kernel of them. Maybe not an Olympic athlete, but something that would give you the same emotional satisfaction. Becoming great at something. You can still do it. You can reinvent yourself any day you wish. You can say, you know what? It's my time. Network marketing can be your end goal. You know, become a network marketing professional as an end goal. Or it can be a way for you to be able to do the other things that you want to do. It could be a vehicle for you to be able to explore anything that you want to do. I still have this little side wish, if I find the time, to do a Broadway show. But I'll finance my own. Not produce it. Lisa Ann, you want to be in it too? Or you want to help produce it? You want to be in it? Cool. Because I would love to do that. There's nothing more fun than the theater. Anybody ever done theater? It's the most amazing thing. Joe did? Isn't it awesome? There's nothing like it. Nothing like it. So anyway, at some point, I'm going to get the right script. I'm just going to freaking do it. Or I'll do it in the studio, and we'll broadcast it around the world. But at some point, it's going to happen. But in the meantime, guess what? I'll be on stages with about 200,000 people watching me this year. At least. Maybe more. So I still get the emotional satisfaction of it. I still get to help people. And it's not just entertain them and go home. They get to go home with a piece. So scary moments can define you. Morphing your dream can find you. You know, maybe not be an NFL athlete, but maybe a similar feeling of something that you can approach in your life. All your dreams are available to you within your physical constraints. They really are. I'll give you another example of what built confidence for me. Back in the day, we used to do 3 opportunity presentations a week. Every Tuesday night, every Thursday night, every Saturday morning. About 45-minute presentation, really tight. It was done at hotels, Embassy Suites, or Sheraton, or Hyatt, or whatever. A little meeting room. People would bring their prospects and do an opportunity presentation, like we do on Zoom now, but in person. And this was the main way to grow a business at the time. And there's a guy who ran the market in Minneapolis, and he ran it like tight but great. And his name was Michael Nelson. And Michael ran a tight ship. Everything, I mean, when you think about it, he approached the opportunity meeting like you would approach a Broadway production. Somebody was in charge of the number of chairs, the air conditioning. Somebody had the music, pre-meeting music, post-meeting music. There was a sign-in process for people to register. There was a beautiful display. The presentations were tight, 45 minutes. We had great testimonials. It was a bang, 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 bang. Everything was great. Name tags for everybody. Blue ones if you're a distributor, red ones if you're a prospect. I mean, everything was tight. And all I did was brought a guest to at least one guest to every presentation. That was the only way I built my business. Okay? So Michael went from Minneapolis to Indianapolis to go work for 90 days. And he left the little machine to a committee. And the committee immediately started having the business fall apart, basically. The presentations were like an hour and a half, 2 hours long. They set up twice the number of chairs as the number of people in the room, and it felt awkward and weird. They weren't paying attention to air conditioning. The display was awful. No name tags. Registration process was rough. Everything was disorganized. And I was bringing my prospects. My prospects were like, what are you bringing me to this 2-hour snooze fest? What? I'm not going to bring anybody back to this thing. Are you crazy? So I went to the committee and said, guys, this has to change. And at the same time, they backed off from Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. They got rid of Thursday. And they said, you know what? 2 times a week is plenty. Maybe once a week we should think about. I'm like, no, that's my only method of doing business. So they canceled Thursday night. So I went to the committee and said, guys, can we tighten this up a little? Can we get back to 45 minutes the way Michael did? Can we not set up 300 chairs for 75 people, please? Can we make sure there's air conditioning? Can we get a display? And they're like, hey, we have more experience than you. Just, we'll have a meeting next month and you can come to talk to us about it. I'm like, I don't have next month. I'm going to go broke. So you know what I did? I went to an Embassy Suites. This is why I realized I'm a badass, okay? This is part of the reason. I was broke. I didn't have enough money to pay the rent. Okay? Rent money. I went to the Embassy Suites and I said, how much to rent a room 10 days from now on a Thursday? They said $200. I had like $214 in my bank account. I said, will you hold the room for me? They said yes. And now my rent is due in like 5 days. So I know I'm going to be behind on rent. I went to the bank, I got 10 $20 bills, and I came back to that little catering manager, and she said, you ready? I'm like, and I'm literally handing the $200 to her. She could see, I saw compassion in her eyes, but I still paid the $200. I signed the contract, and I went back to the committee. Guess what, guys? I set up Thursday night 9 days from now. And they said, we think it's a bad idea. We think 3 a week is too much. We're not going to support it. Okay. The non-refundable deal. So guess what I have to do? All the things I was complaining about. First, I had to learn the presentation. I'd never given a presentation. They weren't going to help me. So I had to learn the presentation. I had to figure out the display. I had to lug the TV from my house, put it in the corner because we played a little video for our presentation. I had to get clipboards for the sign-in thing. I had to go get name tags. I had to get fresh markers. I had to have somebody welcome people into the room. I had to have somebody making sure the air conditioning was right. I made a mixtape of pre-meeting music and post-meeting music. And that was the easy part. If I brought my 2 guests, how embarrassing is it going to be? I got a room that holds 80 people. I can't have 3 chairs in the room, right? Be the worst. So you know what I did? I called every single person I knew every day for 9 days. I said, listen, if you're my family member, I need you to be at this event, Embassy Suites, a week from Thursday. If you're my family member, you'll be there. I don't care if you join. I don't care if you buy. Your job is to sit there and go, isn't he something? Isn't he amazing? That's my family member. Isn't he something? Isn't he amazing? That's your job. And then I went to my friends. If you're my friend, you'll be there. It was like my opening night. You'll be there. I don't care if you like it. Pretend you do. Put a smile on your face. Every time I do this, I want you to raise your hand. You got me? Okay, raise my hand. I needed somebody to take care of this, all this stuff. My very first meeting, I had 48 people. I would have never, ever had 48 people. They're all my prospects. 18 signed up. 18. I remember the circle up. I circled up afterwards. I had little pamphlets and packets, and I was scheduling little game plan interviews for all these 18 people that signed up. Are you kidding me? So here's my question to you. What if Mike town? What if he just kept doing that meeting? I kept bringing one person to each meeting. I wouldn't be here. And guess what? Nobody else ever rented a room. I realized, guess what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to put myself in a potentially embarrassing situation, and I'm going to handle it. And within 2 months, I ran the town. It was my town. Now, I wasn't an egomaniac about it, but the committee said, hey, we'd like to work with you. Would you help us with our meetings? Sure, because my meeting's now 100 people. Sure, but I'm going to run it. If you want my help, I'm running it. None of these 2-hour meetings. They stay 45 minutes. Tight, 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 tight. Here's the list of things that we got to do. They said, fine, please take it. Done. And guess what? In every city in the world, somebody owns the town for your company. If there's anything in that town, you just got to decide you're going to be that one. Was I prepared? No. I was just willing to do an outrageous thing and fall flat on my face. And maybe not pay the rent. You know how much I made that next month from 18 people signing up? $18,000. That was my check. Like, holy moly. You kidding me? So, in the face of adversity or difficulty, was Michael leaving town and the meetings falling apart a good thing or a bad thing? It was a great thing. Some people quit the business because he wasn't around. See, I'm just telling you, you can go grab some money that you don't have to do something that you're not prepared to do as well. Leap and hope the net appears. Jump off the cliff and grow wings. That's what I did. And you know what I realized after that? I kept repeating that cycle. I'm going to do stuff before I'm ready. I'm going to solve a problem. I'll give you a story that I don't think I've told. The company back then had a video cassette. Remember video cassettes? VHS. It was like this first opportunity presentation video, and it was awesome. It was called Living the Dream. And it was filled with testimonials, and there was celebrities on it. And oh my God, I don't have to go do a hotel meeting. I have somebody watch this video. Amazing. They charge $15 for every video. $15 per VHS. I'm like, well, what if I buy 100 because I want my whole team to use it? They said $15. I said, come on. So I got mad. You know what I did? I contacted a friend that was in the video production business. I said, here's this tape. Can we make a better version? What'll it cost to make a better version? So I made this better version with money I didn't have. And I got to the end and I needed like $10,000 more to do it. You remember the solution. The solution, it was called the solution originally. And I didn't realize that was like an anti-Semitic phrase. I found out that later. I didn't know. Then we called it the solution for the 90s. It was hilarious. But anyway, I didn't have the money. So I went to a guy that was in the business. I said, if you give me $10,000, I'll give you unlimited amounts of these tapes at $2 a piece. I'm going to sell them to the world at $7. So he gave me 10 grand so I could finish. So I finished, and that thing became huge, huge at $7. It's a little side business. It was doing $3 million a year in video VHS sales. And you know what I did to promote the video? The company had their conventions that they would do Friday and Saturday. I booked a venue Thursday night before every convention, and I released the latest version of that tape. And I had a free training that night. I booked the Baltimore Convention Center in my 20s and hired Tony Robbins to come in for a free event. Back then, he cost $65,000 plus a jet. Show me somebody who'd do that. I'm bananas. I'm crazy. I rented the Louisiana Superdome for a New Orleans, the night before a New Orleans convention, and had a full free day of training the day before the convention. Crazy. Studio. We need a studio because the pandemic hit, and we got to be able to do an event. So we spent $20 million of money we didn't have to put together a studio that is literally a spaceship. Guess why I developed a high risk tolerance? Because I figured out that first meeting in the embassy suites. Because people believed in me. Because what happens if I fail? Okay, I'm going to fail forward. I bought an airplane with money I didn't have. I mean, look. This is a little model. Gulfstream 550. You want to see something cool? Want to see what's on the I don't know if you can see this. Can you see what's on the tail or what's on the engines? He's going to zoom in, show you. Can you see it or not? Well, you can see here. Here's one word. The only people that see that are people who are on the plane watching the camera from the tail. Those people and the people in the tower. This thing seats 18 people. It sleeps 6. We can go 14 hours. Where you want to go? Without stopping. So cool. I mean, I'm a C- student. Guess why I have this plane? Guess why we have the studio? Guess why I have this house? Because I did that meeting when I didn't have the money. I put all my problems into 4 hours a day or 4 hours a week. And I put my head down and did what I could. I didn't get the Broadway role. I created my own. So, look, you want to be unstoppable? Here's what I know. You're all a badass in something. You just need to transition that energy into your Trinant business. You got the products, you got the comp plan, you got the company, you got the culture, you got the team, you got the system. You're already there. You just got to give yourself permission to go there. And it's hard once you're kind of cool in your life. It's hard to get back gritty sometimes. To get hungry again sometimes. Some of you have done amazing with your life. But you got to stretch, right? To do something outrageous. And I would wish for you to do something outrageous. Something that nobody else sees coming. Surprise the world, shock the world. Have everybody go, where did Lori come from? What in the world? I did not expect this from Joe. I didn't see Lisa Ann doing this at all. Brenda, no way, not Brenda. Chris, are you kidding me? With that beard? Come on, it's impossible. Just kidding, just kidding. Emily, I thought she was just a pretty face. She's a badass. You don't understand. Right? So, look, sometimes you can come out of a convention and you're like, oh, okay. Whew. Okay, it was, I need to recover a bit from the convention. What I want you to do is like take what I'm sharing with you today and run. Do something crazy. Do something that scares you a little. Right? What's something that you can do, moves your business forward, that scares you a little bit, that you're not quite ready for, that you're not quite prepared for? How fast can you hit that next rank? How many people can come to the next convention? How many people can you help with your products? How many? How many sold out products can you sell before they get back in stock? How many? Do they let you order on back order or no? They don't let you back order?
Not this
Keep your
one,
own
they're
list. No, keep your own list. Start a list today. Who's the first person that I'm gonna put the order in for? Who's the second? Who's the third? Create your own back order list. Oh wait, why which company should do that? Well, if you're a badass, you do it. Sorry to like be throwing the ass word around, but it seemed appropriate. It's not too much of a cuss, is it? Not too much. I mean, it's in the Bible. They actually used it. So, look. How many of you are members of GoPro Insider? Put a 1 in the chat if you are. I know a lot of you are. For all of you, and for everybody who's not a member, look at you guys. Oh my, it's awesome. If anybody's not a member of GoPro Insider, please come join that community. I do 7 minutes on average training per day, every day. And people will tell you the value that they're getting from it. I'd like to pour into you on a daily basis. If you like just a little bit of me pouring into you, Aaron just put the link in. Go get it. It's $9 a month, 30 cents a day. It's nothing. And even that, how much should I charge for that? More than 9. Why am I doing 9? Just to be outrageous. Truly. So here's what I want to give you. I have a course called Unstoppable Confidence. I covered just a few parts of it today, but it's about a 3-hour video home study course. $300 course. Anybody joins today, I'll give it to you. And anybody who's already a member, just email support@networkmarketingpro.com, support@networkmarketingpro.com. And just say, Eric offered this. Can I get it? Unstoppable Confidence. Can I get it? And they'll send you access. Okay? My gift. If you're already in, or if those of you who are not in, I want you to have it. On a scale of 1 to 10, just give me some feedback. How would you rate the GoPro Insider experience so far? Scale of 1 to 10. Those of you who are not a member, take a look. Success leaves clues. Really does. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you're getting value. That's my oxygen. At this point in my life, my
Eric, you have to unmute again. Oh, Eric, you were muted.
it doesn't matter. This isn't at all what I was planning on talking about over this last hour, but I got in a mood and I went that direction. So hopefully it was okay for you. Hopefully you got some value. Hopefully you'll use it. Please use it. If you learn something here and you don't take action, waste our time. Do something outrageous. Do something bold. Do something amazing. Shock the world. Be unusual. Be uncommon. Be unreasonable. The reasonable person conforms to everybody else around them. The unreasonable person asks the world to conform to their vision. So all progress in the world is based upon the unreasonable person. So go be crazy. Go be wild. Go be different. Get a copy of Unstoppable Confidence. It's got workbooks. It's got like 3 hours of video, lots of stories. It'll help you, I hope. So go to support@networkmarketingpro.com, not networkmarketing.com, networkmarketingpro.com, or Legacy Makers, whatever that link is, to be able to get GoPro Insider. Legacymakers.net/insider. That'll get you into, like I say, $9. You don't like it, cancel. Keep the course. You just try it. Keep the course. My gift, even if you cancel. Okay. Anyway, have an amazing day. Have an amazing week. I couldn't be more proud of you. Go do some spectacular stuff. Use all these announcements and use it as fuel to be able to go grow a bigger business. So, Tina, I'll pass it back to you. Mwah! Good to see you all.
Thank you.
Have an
Holy
amazing night.
cow. Is your mind blown, you guys? Holy cow. That was so good. I think it was the most unexpected thing. And how many of you feel like that was exactly what you needed? Holy cow. I got so many good notes from that. I'm so excited. And just so that you guys know how generous he is, like, guys, he could charge $150,000 to be on this training, and he did it for zero. So do yourself a favor. Let your teams know about the GoPro Insider. Get them in the GoPro Insider. If your team's winning because they're learning the skills, then you win at a bigger level for $9 a month, guys. That's seriously insane. I remember when we were sitting there in person at the event in February, and Aaron was listening to him talk about it, and he was expecting him to be like, it's $900 or something. I mean, he was fully expecting it to be something really high ticket to get access to Eric. And when he said $9, I thought we were going to have to pick up Aaron off the floor and give him CPR. He just could not believe it. It's such a great deal. So go let your teams know about it. Make sure they see the recording of this. And I hope you believe. I hope you believe everything he said to you about who you are and what you're capable of. You just have to decide to go after what's yours. It's already yours. You just have to decide to go get it. That's it. Who's going to own their town? I love that, right? And here's the thing. You can do it. Even if there's somebody already there, you can step in and decide you're going to own that town. You can step in and to say, I decided today that it is mine, and go after it. You are literally already in the best position you could possibly be in with the products that we've launched, with the compensation plan that we have, with the culture that we have. You guys are set up for success. All you have to do is go take it and own your town. And that could even mean, I want you to think outside the box. I'm not just talking about like I live in Gallatin, Tennessee. I'm not talking about just owning Gallatin, Tennessee. I'm going to own my part of the internet. Who's going to own their part of the internet? Who's going to make sure that every person swiping on their phone sees them? That's all they need to do. I think Brad Lee said it at our training. He was like, just put your mug everywhere. Make sure they see you everywhere you go. You guys, it's really, truly as simple as that. Do any of our other leaders have anything that they want to add before we close out tonight? All righty. You already know Mr. Parker will have this replay up for you guys to get to your teams probably before you can even get out of this Zoom. He'll have it done. Make sure you guys tell Aaron thank you for all he does to make sure you guys have easy access to all the things. We love you guys so much. Good night.